The reason it matters that Jesus is black, yeah, I know what you're saying. It doesn't matter. It matters, bro. We stole an entire identity from these people. There was a race that was chosen by God, okay? When God was playing this Sims game, he chose a black character, okay? Because that most closely related and identified with his personality. He wanted to be humble. He wanted to come as a meek person. Bro, the entire Bible is a redemptive story about black people. From going from last to they're going to be first, bro. It's the entire Bible is like the redemption of a race that was being used for slavery since the beginning of time. Think about this. This is why black people are superior to white people. This is why they can run faster. They have harder heads. This is why they can jump higher. They're the chosen race of God. It's so in your face, dude. The Egyptians with the cornrow hair. And now, where are all our Egyptian people, bro? I don't have any Egyptian friends. I've never met an Egyptian, dude. It's like they just disappeared, dude. What happened to that whole race of people? It's black people, okay? When you read the Bible, the reason it doesn't make sense to you is because you're not replacing the word Jew or Hebrew with black person. Black people, you have the most sacred, beautiful position. You have the biggest shoes to fill. I am so sorry for everything. You'll all see. You'll all see when we get up there. You'll see when we get up there and Juicy J is playing. Okay? You'll be like, oh! Oops. Crazy dude on TikTok was right. It's everywhere in history. White people whitewash history wherever we go. We take that for ourselves. Bro, Egyptians had electricity, okay? The Luxor, the Black Pyramid that shoots up light into the sky. What do you think that's about, dude? They had electricity, dude. The Nile had all the elements for batteries and electricity, like the copper and the salt water and the limestone and everything. Look up the Djed Towers, dude. Anyway, Jesus is black and he's coming back.
Wait until white people find out that the person that they pray to and call their savior and think that he's coming back. Wait until they find out that he was actually a person. Just remember, anytime you see the elites or whatever you want to call them trying to make us hate a specific person or thing, it's really just because that's the most powerful thing. They do everything in their power to make us hate black people. That's because these people are so powerful. These people have been here forever. White people did not pop up until about 5,000 years ago. Now, there's gonna be quite a few of white people that are gonna be mad at this because y'all think everything is about you, but I'm here to tell you that it's not. And it never was. Think about it. I don't know where the fuck white people came from, to be honest, but we are not meant to be in the sun. Like how, black people are from Earth. They have been here a long ass time, bro. The sun loves them. The sun hates white people, okay? I'm just being honest. Part of that has to do with wearing sunscreen and sunglasses, but that's for a whole nother video. All of those ancient people from ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, those were... Ever notice how the nose are always chopped off on those ancient structures? That's because they don't want us to know the truth. I'm not gonna say too much about this photo because I don't want my video to get taken down again. But I mean, y'all see what's going on. A lot of things we've just been lied to, y'all. Pretty much everything is the opposite of what you think it is. There's a reason they want to divide black people. It's because black people are the most connected. They are very, very, very talented at singing, dancing, athletics, you name it. So many things are designed to limit them. I think that black women are the most powerful people on the planet because the number two things that the elites, whatever you want to call them, that they hate the most is women and black people. So there you have it, Black women. Those are the people that we need to be listening to. Those are the leaders of the new earth. And I'm not saying other women aren't powerful, but there's just something about an enlightened Black woman who is embodying her gifts that is just so powerful.
Hello and what's up, good people? What's up, brothers and sisters? Welcome back to this video. Now, wait a minute. Now, I'm just so happy that it's not Black people that are talking about this anymore. I'm just really happy, if not surprised, that the same things that Black people have preached to the world and to the palm coloreds for decades, for centuries probably, and nobody really gave a damn about it, is the same things that now they don't talk about anymore, and the palm colors themselves are coming out to speak about it truthfully, facing it out clear and facing their worst nightmares. Yeah, let's listen in a little more and we'll be back.
The reason why, especially white people in more rural areas and just in general, cling to racism as like a fallback for their behaviors is because it is enforced through fear. Okay? When you are deconstructing, especially as someone who has only ever been around mostly white people, you start to learn very quickly just how bad the people around you are. And as you start to deconstruct it, and as you start to kind of get to the root cause of racism, you face the risk of being disowned and thrown out of your community that you do have. It is a fear tactic. It is the same thing that the Mormon church does to its missionaries. It's kind of like, oh, the outside world is scary. Go be this repulsive thing in the world, and you get like an appropriate reaction for saying heinous things and being this person, and it only reinforces that idea of racism inside of these people. And it's all due to the older generations. And while I know that's not an excuse for younger people to be racist, it is the power structure, because they control people's purses. If you're a kid going to college and you're from a rural area, you might be the first person in your family to go to college. Or even well-off white people who grew up in suburbs and, vacationed around the world throughout the year. If they send their kids to college, their kids don't have to work a job. They just focus on college. But as they start to deconstruct that racism, and as they start to become more socially progressive, they are treated horribly, because the people around them don't want to have to face the reality that they're bad people. So instead, they'd rather disown their kid. They'd rather slander their name in the churches. The gossiping in churches is another major reason for the continuation of racism, because it reinforces that fear, it reinforces that stereotype. Oh, you're going against what these other people have done before you because it's wrong. But you're the person pointing out it's wrong, so it's your fault. And it's kind of this whole thing of, you either conform to the elders and the people around you, or you risk losing everything. And a lot of white people don't have a good support group because, look at our culture for the last fucking 80, 90 years of pushing into isolationism, pushing into, oh, if I stand against this, I risk losing everything. I might lose my family. I might lose my friends. And while to the world, it's like, you should lose those people because they're bad people. When you don't have a support system on the other side, it makes life significantly harder just because you want to do the right thing. It's also an easy grift. It's an easy cop-out. Look at the woman who just raised over $700,000 because she called a black autistic kid the N-word. There is so much grift and money in racism, and the money itself is the problem, because now you're fighting not only the people around you, you're now also fighting the culture war against the money in racism, against people like Fox News, right-wing grifters. You risk having your face splattered on a website somewhere, and now you've got death threats from people because you just want people to be treated equally. You are threatening, by deconstructing racism as a white person, you threaten the entire system. Because if you as your own person deconstruct and go through that, you alone have the power of your own words. You alone now have the power of your own actions because you're holding yourself accountable. You're not falling back on the stereotypes. You're not falling back onto the misleading statistics that a bunch of right-wing grifters put out. It's a very complicated road, and while it shouldn't be complicated, old money has made it complicated on purpose.
How do I say this? The entire Bible is about black people. Not only was Jesus black, but every character in the Bible seems to be black too. Yeah, Zephaniah and Jeremiah and Jebediah, those all aren't white people names, okay? And Jesus wasn't some tan, partially melanated Middle Eastern person either. I'm talking straight up black dude, okay? Even in the book of Revelation, when you get the vision of Daniel, he's describing someone with feet like burnt brass and white woolly hair, and we've got the deep running water voice with the red eyes, and you guys, he's black. The Jewish people are black people, like Kanye was right. And those people yelling at the park dressed in purple about black people being the real Hebrew Israelites, they're right, okay? Like, anytime you see the word Hebrew or Israelite or Jew in the Bible, in your mind you got to replace that with black person. So the whole Bible is going to make a lot more sense to you once you start reading it like that. But you need to let this get settled in your heart now before you get up there. So, I mean, they were literally whipping him on his way to get crucified, you guys. Crucifixion was a punishment, like, for slaves back then. And gladiators. And all the gladiators were black, too. Did you know that? Like, you guys, he was sold for 30 pieces of silver. That was the maximum amount of money that a slave could be sold for. Oh, just coincidence? Above his cross, it says INRI. They were like mocking him. They were saying it says this is the king of the Jews. They're saying, like, here's the king of the black people. Look what we did to him. Why does the KKK burn crosses, you guys? The racist KKK. It's just, black people rejoice. You are God's chosen people. Like, I mean, those are some big shoes to fill, but be honored. Like, feel good about that. Like, how cool. Anyway, see you later. Jesus was black.
I haven't been on here a long time, man. But this is for all the Negro people. All the Negro people. God's chosen people. The first love of the Most High. I love good gospel music. I've been sitting there watching CeCe Winans, and the woman just blesses my soul. And the Lord put it on my heart to make this. First of all, I want to take the time to apologize to y'all, man, for what the white man has done to you people. It's so egregious and atrocious, and I have no words to make up or give you a proper apology for what's been done to you. I really don't. But I am truly, sincerely sorry for what has been done to you people, and it grieves me terribly. It really does. Man, you all are chosen. You God's chosen people, man. You shouldn't be able to contain your joy. With everything that's going on, the Spirit of God moving like it is, I'm telling you, I've been staying off here a lot because of AI. But I had to make this video. I really did. I was fortunate enough, the Lord revealed himself to me 31 years ago, man, and I know him, and I love him. He's first in my life, man. He truly is. Just knowing y'all as chosen people is an immense blessing to me because he revealed it to me. I don't know why my phone keeps doing this. I'm sorry. Anyway, I just want to take this time again to apologize to y'all and to lift you up, man. Like I say, you should have been able to contain your joy, man. You're God's chosen people. You really are. May the blessings of Yah follow each and every one of you. Every single one of you. I just pray blessings in your life, man. And White man's reign's over. It's over. It's your all's time, man. Embrace that. Seek God with all your heart, man. Seek Him. Because y'all are His people, man. Y'all are His people. God bless each and every one of you. And my prayer is, if you don't know Him, that you seek Him and find Him. Because children, time is short, man. It's truly short. Peace and love to everybody. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Tune in to Celestial over there too, on the Master's Voice. I do that also. God bless y'all, man.
When white people in the United States balk at the idea of paying reparations to black Americans who descended from slaves, they disagree with the Bible. Reparations are a form of compensation or restitution made to those who have suffered injustice, particularly those in cases of racial inequality, discrimination, and slavery. The idea of paying reparations to black Americans is not a new one. It has been a topic of discussion for decades, if not centuries. However, it has gained renewed attention and support in recent years, following the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement and the growing recognition of systemic racism in American society. As a Christian, I believe that reparations are not only a matter of justice and equity, but also a reflection of God's character and values. In the Bible, we see numerous examples of God's concern for the oppressed, the marginalized, and the downtrodden. From the Israelites' liberation from slavery in Egypt to the ministry of Jesus among the poor and the outcast, we see a consistent theme of God's love for those who are on the margins of society. One of the key biblical principles that underlie the idea of reparations is the concept of restitution. In the book of Leviticus, we see God commanding the Israelites to make restitution to those whom they have wronged. Leviticus 6:1-5 says, "If anyone sins and commits a breach of faith against the Lord by deceiving his neighbor in a matter of deposit or security or through robbery, or if he has oppressed his neighbor or has found something lost and lied about it, swearing falsely in any of all the things that people do and sin thereby, if he has sinned and has realized his guilt and will restore what he took by robbery when he got it by oppression or deposit that was committed to him, or the lost thing that he found, or anything about which he has sworn falsely, he shall restore in full and shall add a fifth to it, and give it to him to whom it belongs on the day that he realizes his guilt." This passage emphasizes the importance of making restitution to those who have been wronged, and not just restoring what was taken, but adding to it as a form of compensation. This principle of restitution can be applied to the issue of reparations to black Americans who have suffered centuries of enslavement, discrimination, and systemic oppression. Another biblical principle that supports the idea of reparations is the concept of Jubilee. In Leviticus 25, God commands the Israelites to observe a Jubilee every 50th year, during which all debts are forgiven, all slaves to be set free, and all property to be returned to its original owners. This was a radical idea of economic justice designed to prevent the accumulation of wealth and power in the hands of a few, and to ensure that all members of society had equal access to resources and opportunities. The idea of Jubilee can be seen as a model for reparations in that it seeks to address the root causes of inequality and oppression rather than just treating the symptoms. By forgiving debts, freeing slaves, and returning property, Jubilee seeks to create a more just and equitable society, one in which everyone has the opportunity to flourish. As a Christian, I believe paying reparations to black Americans is only a matter of justice and equity, but also it is a reflection of God's values and character. Through the biblical principles of restitution and Jubilee, we see a model for how we can address the historical and systemic injustices that have plagued our society for far too long. While the issue of reparations is complex and contentious, I believe that as Christians, we have a responsibility to seek justice. The black community has long suffered under the weight of systemic racism and discrimination. As white people, it is our responsibility to use our privilege to support and uplift the black community. Here are a few ways that we can be better allies. Listen and learn. We need to listen to Black voices and experiences without interrupting or dismissing them. We should educate ourselves on the history of systemic racism and the ways that it continues to impact the Black community today. We should seek out resources, books, and documentaries that help us understand the issues. Next, speak up. We should use our privilege to speak up against racism and discrimination. We should challenge racist comments and behaviors, even if it's uncomfortable. Silence that which perpetuates racism. We should support Black-owned businesses in our communities. We should advocate for policies that support economic justice and equity. Donate to Black-led organizations. Financially support Black-led organizations that are working to address systemic racism and inequality. It can be done through regular contributions or contributing to certain campaigns and initiatives. We should also use our platforms for good as white people. We have access to platforms and audiences that the Black community may not have. We should use our platforms to amplify Black voices and perspectives, raise awareness about issues affecting the Black community, and promote positive change. Be open to feedback and learning from our mistakes, as we will make mistakes along the way. But it's important to acknowledge them, apologize, and learn from them. We should be open to feedback and willing to change our behavior and perspectives as we continue to learn and grow. Being a better ally to the Black community requires a willingness to listen, learn, and take action. It requires us to use our privilege for good, support Black-owned businesses and communities, and speak up against racism and discrimination. It's up to all of us to work towards a more just and equitable society.
I'm here to remind you that the white population in 2017 made up 11.5% of the world, and today in 2025 it only makes up 6.5%. Have a wonderful day.
First thoughts, I don't know if I'm indifferent to this statistic or if I'm rooting for the direction that it's going, and I mean that completely genuinely. But second, go like this creator's video. It's very funny. She's been coming up on my FYP. But this reminded me of a story. I want to say like 2009, 2010, I go over to my mom's house and my stepdad is, of course, spending his 16 hours a day watching Fox News in the living room, just going out of his way to try to be mad about things that he doesn't understand. And he's like, did you know that by the year, 2035, minorities will outnumber us in this country? And, without any sort of, pause or hesitation, I just simply replied, well, then they won't be minorities anymore. And he's like, yes, they will. And it was like, first and foremost, he couldn't even wrap his head around the ridiculousness of the language. But I remembered asking him, like, are you mad about Black and brown folks outnumbering us because you're afraid that they'll treat you like you treated them? And when you want to talk about an angry, country-ass, 75-year-old man that had never been, actually asked a real question that forced him into one of those corners, he just turned into a toddler. Well, you and they and the white man built this country, and it's like, I really think that my sort of genuine reactive, answer to his query, I think it struck a nerve. It's the reason that toxic straight men feel uncomfortable around gay men, because they're afraid that the gay men will treat them like women. Like, that is what they're not mad at people for just existing. They're mad at what might happen to them should the shoe be on the other foot.
Well, now, this is what happens with the truth. I'll tell you the truth. And it doesn't matter whether you want to listen to the truth or you assume that or ignore what I'm trying to tell you. The truth will outlive the lies, always. And the lies will always crumble at some point. I mean, lies are not very sustainable. It's not like the truth. Once you say the truth, you can go without having to look, to look back and maybe, with the fear that maybe people will realize that, say the truth and walk away. And this is exactly what is happening. white people are now coming out to appreciate and accept the fact that, yes, black people are the most powerful people. They are everybody's pops and moms, after all, you know, and they're the chosen people. They are the people of the earth, and they are God's chosen people. Not even my words, but their own words, because they have realized that the lies that the systems they have come up with, maybe not them directly, but their kind have come up with, are crumbling terribly, and are putting them in the wrong place in history, in the wrong place in this life. And nobody is going to convince me right now that white supremacy isn't in an inferiority complex, a full inferiority complex on its own. Because this is exactly how inferiority complex operates. Just like bullies usually have underlying issues. A bully doesn't just become a bully. There is an underlying issue that they are oftenly trying to conceal by being a bully. Sometimes it is some childhood trauma, or being looked up, down, being underrated somehow, and now they always are trying to prove a point. And so they always are trying to announce to everybody, how they are superior, how they are very strong. And they go out of their way to become violent so that they can actually try to ascertain their strength. And this is what white supremacy does. If it is really white supremacy doesn't shout. You don't have to prove a point. If you're good, we will tell you. You don't have to, we say, beat your own drums. You don't have to blow your own trumpet. No. If you're good, if it is great, we will see, and we will heap you praises. We will sing the praises if it is good. But if you are constantly at a point in which you have to prove yourself, prove your superiority, then it is actually an inferiority hidden behind a convolution of words. And look at white people, for example. Other than the money that they control, because they control the money machine, what else do they bring to this world exactly? What is it that they give to this world? Fine, they control the money, and so the money has the power because of the systems that they have actually formed in their violence, assertion of a false superiority, supremacy. And so they came up with a system. You come up with a game. You rig the game against every other player. And now you praise yourself how you're a winner in that competition. A competition in which you came up with, you set the rules, you favored yourself with all the rules, and you win the game, and you praise yourself, and you move around asking people to forcefully praise you for winning a game you rigged, a game you came up with, the rules you set up yourself. And talking about the money that they control and the money that they own, how did they even get the money? Do they mind telling the world how they came up with the money? They stole from everybody. They embezzled, and they continue to embezzle everybody's resources. They don't know how to even live together and share, because black people know the sense of community, and they can live with whatever they have and share, and it will always be enough. In this God's world, it's enough. We cannot run out of that because of the systems of white supremacy like capitalism. And then it looks like other people have too much than they need. And then it renders other people without, because if it were a fair community ground, everybody will just have a fair share of the cake, and all of us shall eat to satisfaction. But if I hoard all of this piece of land, it means someone else who is also belonging to this earth will be rendered homeless because I have grabbed all this instead of just, having as much as I need to live decently. So even the money that they have is actually stolen resources from Africa, from Asia, from America, from everywhere. They continue to embezzle today from Africa. The African resources don't even benefit African people. So Africa is not poor. Africa is actually overexploited, and all the resources, the richest continent on earth, has actually the poorest people on earth. Simply, it tells you they don't even have the money per se, they have the systems that pool the money. So other than the money, they have nothing to show. And now what is happening is that the world is changing. Dynamics of power is changing. And opposition is rising every day. And unity is also rising by the day. And people are beginning to question everything that they have been told by the white lies. And now this is a problem with lying, is that you also have to always counter-check if people have realized that you are lying. If you had said the truth, then you would live in no fear, because there is nothing else to realize beyond what you really gave them, what you really told them. And so many white people are coming out to dismiss white supremacy because they have seen where the world is headed right now. And America is a perfect example, is a place in which only truth can really get you, can really sustain you as a white person. And they are challenging and calling out the systems from which they themselves, as white people, benefited from, the privileges they have enjoyed. But then, once you realize that the people from whom you have disenfranchised for the benefits that you enjoy are realizing the truth, then the guilt, your own guilt, will unalive you. So you'd rather just face the truth and tell the world the truth and dismiss the false narrative. That is exactly what is happening now. This is what white people are saying, and finally, the prophecies are coming are coming to pass. I love to see this. Let's continue watching this space. Let's enjoy. Let's continue to stand strong and call out the truth, and call out truth to power. Yeah, so that is what I had for you in this interesting video. Do share with me what you have to say about this. You can leave me a comment. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And if you're new, welcome to this channel. And please subscribe to become a part of us. Love you, all of you Black people. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out and one love.